All right, we will continue our driver media press conferences here. We're joined by Denny Hamlin. If you have a question for Denny, please raise your hand. Wait for the wireless mic, and we will bring that to you. And who would like to kick us off? Kelly Crandall, followed by Bob Pockers.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. So, Denny, you said it last week. You're really excited to get here. So, with this being the round that gets you to Homestead, how focused are you on just keeping it 1 week at a time and not thinking about what could be ahead in terms of getting to Homestead and a title shot?
Yeah, I think that next week's mentality will change based off of really what happens this week. So I feel like if I can give this week my 100% focus, then likely I'll be in a better spot going into next week. So I think that that's really, I think you can only have so much mental capacity to handle 3 races at a time. You have to really focus on the one, and that's what I try to do, and that's what I've been doing each week. So really haven't looked ahead or forward or anything like that. Haven't studied anything for Texas, nothing for Phoenix. It's all been about this racetrack.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. How much of this race do you feel like is not in your control, as far as like maybe where you start, which lane you start, restarts, when people get into you, cut tires, that kind of thing?
Yeah, probably 30%. I think that if you have the fastest car and the best driver and all that, there's still, in your lead, you still have a 30% chance of losing because of unknowns. And so there definitely are no guarantees and anything like that. There's definitely cautions that could really bite you. It could mix up the field, take away your track position, bad pit stops. There's just a lot of different things that can keep you from winning. It's not just about other sports where it's one team against the other. It's one-on-one. It's one versus many, and everyone's got an agenda.
Lee Spencer, RacingBoys.com. Did you learn anything last week on restarts that might transfer over to Texas next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, if my car's that fast, then it'll be pretty easy. It always is easy when you have a fast car, but it just seems like the line choice and things like that. I was very apprehensive to put guys with 4 tires right on the outside of me of all places, especially on a mile and a half. But I just felt like the bottom is where I was most successful. I've seen other guys be successful down there, and I didn't really pay attention to teammates or anything like that. I just did what I thought was best for me to try to win, and it worked out.
And with that kind of new transition going out of exit 2 on the backstretch, will that play into your decision as to where you want to restart, what lane you want to restart at Texas?
I don't know. I mean, I got to look through all the statistics really to figure out what's been most successful. I'll look at past races and figure out retention rates and things like that. So I think that I don't know. I really haven't dug into the numbers yet to figure out what lane would be best there. Maybe.
Zach Halbert, NASCAR.com. Denny, the round of 12 went about as well as it could have results-wise. Do you believe in the concept of momentum? I know it can swing the other way, but is there something that kind of sustains you to have those kind of results and to build up a head of steam like that?
Well, I think there is a such thing as momentum if you're going to the same race, same type of racetrack. So say you have 3 mile-and-a-halfs in a row, and you run well in the first one. Well, immediately you've already got a good baseline to start your second one, and then you have a good result. More than likely you're going to fine-tune it and be even better for the third. I think momentum stops when you go to an entirely different racetrack, and it doesn't matter if you've won 4 in a row on those mile-and-a-halfs. If you then go to Martinsville or Bristol, nothing applies. There really is nothing that applies. So momentum stops when the racetracks become different.
Other questions for Denny? We'll go to Jacob in the back.
Jacob Seelman, Speed Sport. Denny, Obviously, you've taken a liking to this place over the years with everything that went on in the round of 12, the win last week. Do you feel like you're coming in here in the best place you ever have as far as the playoffs are concerned?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, definitely in a points position. Yeah, better than I've been in years past. Running as good as we've ever run, essentially. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about it. There's not really any weakness I see in our particular team at this point. Even with the given racetracks that are left, there's really no weaknesses there. So, it's just the unknowns that we talked about that can take you out. But I can't control the unknowns. I can only control what I can do. So I'll try to do the best I can.
Any other questions for Denny? We'll close with Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire. Interesting to hear you say that. Why is this year better than 2010 so far when you had 8 wins?
We really stockpiled. I think we swept a lot of races in 2010, if I remember right. We were dominant at a couple tracks, and so I just think that everywhere we're just good everywhere this year. I think this is the most top fives I've had, somewhere in that range. Average finish, things like that. So all that stuff's a little better, and especially when you look at the drivers this year with this package, everyone's average finish is up, simply because there's so many different variables with when you're drafting on mile and a halves and things like that. So for me to have a better average finish where really it looks like the field has risen up 1 or 2 spots, that tells me that we've made the gains, not everyone else.
All right, Denny, thanks a lot for your time today.
Thanks.